Hello, unlimited friends. Today I have a really interesting question from someone in my mastermind group. And it's Elena. Her question is, why do we get tired in the evening and refreshed in the morning? What a wonderful question. Thank you so much, Elena. Okay, so before I get into the response, I want to introduce myself to those of you who are visiting me for the first time. Hi, my name is ZMAHOON. I write the blog Unlimited Life, and on this YouTube channel, it is my objective to make law of attraction simple to understand and easy to apply to our day-to-day lives so that we can manifest all the things that we want. Okay, so let's get into Elena's question. Why do we get tired in the evening? I'll tell you why it's not. We don't get tired because we didn't fuel our bodies, because we were eating. We had our meals for the day. We don't get tired because we didn't have activity, physical activity, because even the most sedentary of us walk to the bathroom, walk to the kitchen. We do walk. So it's not that either. You know what it is? It is that we wake up and then we go around the world looking at things and creating resistance. We either look at new things, maybe we're watching the news and we don't like what we see on the news, or, and this is 90% of the time, we pick up on our thoughts of worry and anxiety from the previous day. And we try and focus on things that we cannot control. We can only control the controllable. Whatever is not under your control is for you to hand over to the universe. If you try and control it, you will not be successful. And in fact, you will increase resistance. That resistance gets stored in our physical bodies. And it prevents energy from flowing. That is why we are tired and depleted at the end of the day. Because worry, the feeling of worry and anxiety is low on the emotional scale. When you are low on the emotional scale, what you are doing, visualize this, what I'm trying to explain to you. You have a conduit, like a pipe, that connects you to the universe. This conduit helps you to draw energy from the universe. You don't need to draw energy from food. You don't need to draw energy from the sun. You don't need to draw energy from anything around you. We basically draw energy from the universe. Now, if you are in a place of anxiety, then this conduit, this pipe is smaller. Because why? Because it's constricted. And just like we need food, our physical body needs food, our soul needs nourishment. That nourishment of the soul comes from the connection with the universe. And sometimes, if you don't get to eat, let's say, you don't eat for a whole day, or you don't eat for a few days, your physical body can keep going because it is still receiving energy from the universe. That energy that we receive from the universe is way more important than the energy that we receive from eating anything. It is way more important than the energy that we receive from exercising our physical body. Actually, exercising the physical body makes this conduit bigger, because as we physically exercise, we work out the resistance that we've got stored in our physical body. And that is why we feel better. So, Elena, the answer to your amazing question is, the reason we feel depleted at the end of the day is because we start out in the morning with a big connection with Source. And as we go through our day and we pick up on thoughts from prior days about things that are not working, we give attention to things that are not working, we observe things that are not working now in this day, then we constrict our connection with Source and we make it smaller, and we don't receive as much energy as we would otherwise. And this is why we feel depleted, because the energy that we store in our physical body, as we receive energy from the universe, remember this, every cell in our body is receiving energy from the universe. And our soul is connected to the universe and is receiving energy from the universe. Our inner being is receiving energy from the universe. When you constrict the supply of energy, what happens is you start using the reserves that you've stored in your body. And there's only so much you can store in your physical body before it runs out. And that's when we need to sleep again. Because when we sleep, what happens is, when we sleep, and if you go into deep sleep and you enjoy a couple of hours of uninterrupted, deep sleep, your channel of receiving energy from the universe is restored to its maximum size. And that is why it replenishes not just your soul, but your physical body. Because your physical body is like a battery. It's a cell that gets recharged and then you use it. Okay? So, now for those people who don't sleep well, they are thinking in their sleep, and even in their sleep, they are trying to control the uncontrollable. So what happens is, because they're trying to control the uncontrollable even in the sleep state, they don't go deep enough in the sleep state to replenish, to make this conduit go back to its maximum size so that they can recharge their battery. So the physical battery does not get recharged. So you wake up feeling lethargic, and the mental, the soul part of you does not get recharged either. So you wake up feeling like you don't want to get out of bed because your battery, your physical battery, and your mental, emotional battery has not been recharged. And that is why you feel even more depleted at the end of the day. This is the reason why we need refreshing, deep sleep. Because I'll tell you something, even if you just get 3 hours of sleep that is actually energizing because you've opened your conduit to receive the energy that is coming to you from Source, you can wake up and enjoy a full day of activity without feeling depleted. Now, I can tell you, because I was an extreme case of an A-type personality. And what is an A-type personality? An A-type personality is a person who tries to control the uncontrollable. And so I can tell you that I felt like a wind-up toy that gets wound up in the morning and then at the end of the day is depleted of all of its energy. So here are a couple of things that you can do to prevent feeling tired and depleted at the end of the day. And the first one, the very first one on the list, is getting a good night's sleep. And having a good night's sleep cannot be measured in terms of the amount of time you sleep. It is measured in the depth that you go to in your sleep and your ability to turn off your mind. And you can accomplish that by using pre-paving. And now, if you don't know the concept of pre-paving for sleep, I do have a meditation on my channel, a pre-paving for sleep on my channel, that I will link below so that you can go and visit it. So pre-pave going to sleep, meaning turn your conscious mind off by giving it the instruction that you are now turning it off. So that's number one. Number two is be conscious as you go about your day. Be mindfully present in your day and refuse to go places where you're going to be subjected to information that is going to create resistance inside you. So that's why we turn off the news, because when we listen to news, there's nothing good going on, and it's better just to turn it off. Because when I listen to the news, I absorb negative energy. Because I think about what they're talking about, which is never nice. And then I spend time focusing on it. If you focus on it, you activate it. It's as simple as that. When you activate it, now it's affecting you for the rest of the day, unless you do something to clean it up. My way of doing things now, after learning so much from Abraham over the years, is that if I come across a piece of news or somebody says something that I feel, that's not high on the emotional scale and it's taking me down, I stop, I breathe, I appreciate if I can, and if I cannot, I soothe. Those are the two options. Either you appreciate or you soothe. Appreciation meaning just appreciate anything, even if it is a tree or a bird or the sky. Just appreciate, and then you'll go back up the emotional scale. When you go back up the emotional scale, you don't store the resistance in your physical body. And the second one is soothe. In the 4-step process that I teach in the book Thrive and the book Prosperity Puzzle and the book Manifesting Mistakes is all about soothing. The 4-step process is the easiest way to deal with any kind of negative situation that's going on that is putting you on a negative vibration. So how you do that is by telling yourself it's going to be okay, by reminding yourself that things are always working out for you, and by looking for evidence around you, in the world around you, that helps you prove to your conscious mind that it does not need to get all panicky, get all uptight and stressed. It's supposed to let the conscious mind relax and let go of things that it does not control. And so that is a really important thing to do. And lastly, meditate. Meditate. Because when you meditate, you bypass the conscious mind. You go deep, almost to the same place that you would go in sleep. But you do it with conscious awareness that you're doing it. And that refreshes you. It helps you to open that channel of communication with Source so that you can re-energize your physical body as well as your emotional body, the emotional part of you, which is your soul. So if you were to do these things, then you would not feel depleted at the end of the day. You would not feel tired. You would feel at the end of the day that you've had a really, really good day. And then you would sleep, and you would not need as much sleep because you would not have absorbed as much resistance. You see, the quantity of sleep that we need, good quality, deep sleep that we need, is directly in proportion to the amount of resistance that we store. If we don't store resistance, then we don't need as much sleep. And this is why you find people who are aligned, who get a lot done, who are leaders, they don't need as much sleep. They'll tell you, oh, I usually get up at 4:30 in the morning. And by the time other people show up in my office, I'm already done the work that I was supposed to do for the day. That's because they have so much more energy, right? You have energy when you don't have resistance. So the amount of fatigue that you feel at the end of the day is a measure of the amount of resistance that you've got stored in your body. And if you feel really tired at the end of the day, you have to do something about it, because that is a way for the universe and your body to communicate with you, to tell you that you are not pointed in the right direction, that you're not doing enough law of attraction work, enough of appreciation to stay high enough on the emotional scale to be able to manifest the things that you want. So I hope, Alina, that answers your absolutely brilliant question, and I hope that this response is useful to other people as well. So folks, if you're not a member of one of my Facebook groups, I'm going to invite you to come and join me there. And before you leave today, I'm going to invite you to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that I can invite you back to future videos. All right, folks, have a super fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.